Will the corn and rows need hoeing? A lecture room be empty, no one going? Will one more prayer be left to pray? One more sick soul need help along the way? Will one more kiss be waiting? One more hug left for the taking? A number of years ago, I started writing poems, finding that this was a way that I could deal with my frustrations or emotions or delight. And so as my diagnosis of cancer was made, it was a fairly natural thing that I started writing poems about my emotions through cancer. Will one more poem be left to write? One more star go unnoticed at night? Will a student miss an encouraging word? Or a mockingbird's wild call be left unheard? No, when I go, nothing will be left to chance. God will provide another to step into the dance.
One of the things about writing a poem is that it encapsulates the moment that you're experiencing. You're basically putting the tears, so to speak, in a bottle, and then you can pull them out and remember the story, remember the experience. And in more intense ways than I can express to you, it brings back something that's valuable.
After radical prostatectomy, my prognosis is like the stock market. Preoperative scans had shown no spread of disease. My cancer was likely stage 2C, surgical cure possible. But at catheter removal, the report says the seminal vesicle is clearly involved. A lymph node is sent for special staining, now at least stage 3B. Radiation and hormone therapy, maybe no cure. Today, a call from my kindly physician. Final path report. The lymph node is positive, as is the apex. Stage now 4A. Only thing worse is stage 4B. The market is crashing. But a rally comes. The doctor, sensing my discouragement, says, "Jim, I want you to write something." He describes his aggressive plan. Adjuvant chemotherapy, radiation, hormone blockade. He has long-term survivors with my stage. So write these words, put them on your refrigerator. I write, "It's not hopeless."
Being a patient is something that ideally every physician would have to go through. It's a great way to learn how to treat your patients. I worked through most of my treatment, and so when my hair came off with my chemotherapy, my patients all knew that there was something going on. And I can't tell you how many patients would express concern and would even pray for me in the office, which made a huge impact on me and helped me realize what a value there is in prayer as a means of connecting with those with whom you're associating, and certainly as a physician with my patient. Being an introvert and dealing with a very significant medical illness on my part, I needed to emotionally handle this. One of the ways that I have traditionally dealt with stresses and emotions is to work in the garden. You know, when you're chopping weeds and digging holes and, working hard and somehow getting your fingers in the dirt, it helps to work off stress. Unfortunately, after surgery, that wasn't an option. And so, fortunately, I had other ways that I deal with some of my stressors and my emotions. I have been developing over the last decade a greater love for poetry. It's one thing to be treated medically, to get your chemotherapy, your radiation, to knock down the disease, but to stay emotionally healthy, You need to process what's going on inside of you, and that's what poetry allows us to do.
There is a hidden place, a space at the convergence of what means the most to me and what I am thinking. A hallowed room where emotions and understanding hold sacred communion. I enter that place often.
I strongly urge people to be completely open about their diagnosis. I think and that's what I chose to do, and I'm absolutely grateful that I did, because I've had, of course, family, but friends that I never knew were such dear friends come and support me emotionally, keep in touch with me on a regular basis. My church family surrounded me, and my students, my fellows. So many people would say, thinking about you, or I'm praying for you. I think one of the best gifts that a person can give to another person is a way to connect. A good example of this is what my daughter Lisa gave me as a birthday present soon after my diagnosis. One of her gifts to me was to give me a sketchbook, and she thought it would be a great idea for us to just get together once a month and do a formal sketch. And so we have done that, gotten together one day in the month, spent anywhere between 2 and 4 hours. She's on one side of the book, I'm on the other side of the book. We're both drawing pencil sketches of something, usually a theme. And there aren't a lot of words shared, but it's being close. It's something very special to me. We're both introverts, and that's one way introverts can connect, is doing something together. So that was very special. Well, I feel fairly hopeful, and it is nice to have the treatment behind me. I guess it's hard to say that I'm cured, but at the moment, I think there's no evidence of disease.
Words, sometimes marching in step, their uniforms starched, buttons gleaming, but often the words are free to dance and twirl as they wish. These words are part of me. To share a poem is to share my soul.
In all things, God works for good for those who love Him. So, it doesn't mean all things are good. It means He brings good out of all things.